Hi Sunil, Manish. We have now people coming in. Welcome back, guys. How is everyone? Say hi to me on chat. Guys, can you hear me? Hi Neeraj. अरे नीरज जी क्या बात है? नीरज आनंद जी. Hi Abhishek. Hi Pooja. Hi Manish. Let some more people come in, then we'll start with the recap and we'll quickly move to our topics. Pooja, these sheets are majorly notes, and this is my free program of 3 secrets of to triple your leads. All those people who enroll into the paid program of triple your leads will get this total recording of the workshop as well as all the slides as well. Hi Neeraj, long time, literally long time. How are you? All right, let's. What I'll do is I'll quickly recap what we have done already, and we have talked about a lot of things already. Let me share my screen. Now, can you see my screen? Blood, is it now okay? Okay. So we covered, we started from how to generate leads online and different platforms, the organic, paid, and then we talked about your buyer's persona of each and every brand, how many buyer's persona should have, and what are the questions, key questions that you need to answer for to identify your own buyer's persona. And then you have, we talked about which platform to choose from and what are the purpose and moods of the audience that is present on these platforms. We did this particular sheet in a very extensive manner, and till the time we were actually doing last time in the morning, we were talking about how social media works, right guys? How many of you were not there in the morning session? Do we have any new people coming in? Neeraj ji, aap nahi the. Yes. Tell me in so write me in the chat section if you were not there in the morning session. Okay, a lot of people were not there. You must, okay, you missed the first 2 slides. Okay, so let me just quickly go and recap, but I'll not be able to do the extensive thing, but I'll able to make you guys understand what you guys missed. All right. So first we talked about how to generate leads online. So guys, how do you generate leads online? आपको कोई ना कोई platform use करना पड़ेगा. Online is internet, right? Internet, you have different platforms like Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Quora, LinkedIn, and all the platforms have 2 ways to generate leads. One is the organic way, which is this one, and one is the paid way, which is this one. Now, what does organic marketing and paid marketing means? Organic marketing means content marketing, because you don't need this is something where you don't need to pay anything to the platforms. And paid advertisements are basically advertisement. I hope everyone know what advertisements are, right? So this is basic, very basic. Now, buyer's persona is very, very important, because whenever you're doing marketing, this is the very first step that any brand or any individual or any marketer will have to do. Because going forward from here, everything will depend on this particular activity. What it means is that what your buyer's persona is, if you do not identify that at this step, you will face a lot of difficulties in next going ahead out of on this. So what will happen is there are set of questions. There are 8 set of questions here, and you need to understand and answer these questions for yourself. This is a sample buyer. So first one, what is buyer's persona? This is majorly an image like a persona of your customer, of people who are buying from you. If you have current customers, you can compare and you can take sample average customers from your customer list and find out these answers from them. And then it will be very easy for you to target people just similar than like them, right? So the very first question is name. It does not matter what name you put in on this, because this is a sample buyer's persona. Then what is their age? You need to answer that. Then what is their profession? What do they do in real life? Like what do they do for living, right? Are they in any specific industry, or do they have any specific designation? You need to write that down. Then what is their relationship status? This could be married, not married, in relationship, or single. Then if they are married, whether do they have kids or not? Because when you answer these questions, it will become very easy for you guys to target them anywhere on the internet. That is why it is very important to answer. And don't worry, one brand, if you're thinking that, okay, my buyer's persona is very vast, very wide, right? So one brand is not that it only has one buyer's persona. It can have multiple buyer's persona, you see. So, but you have to identify all of them individually, so that you can later on, when you're targeting them, you can create content which resonates with them. So it becomes easy for you to connect with them and for them to understand what language you are saying. Then the last 2 questions are the most trickiest, because these questions will actually define your marketing strategies. Very first one is, all right, I missed one, sorry. So where do they live is another question. Where do they live? What's their location? And then it becomes 6 question and 2 are left. And the second last is top 5 interests. What are their top 5 interests? Because if they are married, if they are recently married, maybe their interest will change accordingly. If they recently have kids, their interest will change accordingly. If their kids are turning teenagers, then their interest will be something else, right? And if your target audience is teenagers, then your interests will be very different. Then the last question comes, where do they spend most of their time online? And this is also a top 5 category, where you have to answer, where does your buyer's persona spend most of its time online? Online ka matlab, if you are selling something, what is these places where your buyer's persona spend? Is it Quora? Is it YouTube? Is it LinkedIn? Where is it? That's what you need to answer. Because once you answer all these things, then it becomes easier for you to target them online. Anywhere that they go, you can track them and you can again pull them back to your content. Are we clear with buyer's persona? All the people who missed the morning session. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's move ahead. So now, the next question, the next slide, we are talking about which platform to use. First of all, we have to identify what are the platform, how many platforms are there to target people, right? The very first is Facebook, then Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, then you have Twitter, Quora, TikTok, Snapchat, and Google. Now, understand this, guys, that every platform has a mood, and a purpose. What is that means? A purpose is why that platform was made originally. मतलब कि जब ये प्लेटफॉर्म बना था तो कौन सी एक प्रॉब्लम थी जिसको सॉल्व करने के लिए बना था ये प्लेटफॉर्म. एंड मूड इज कि आज जो ऑडियंस इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे अपना टाइम स्पेंड कर रही है वो किस वजह से कर रही है और क्या मूड के साथ कर रही है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फेसबुक पे आपको क्या लगता है कि जब फेसबुक बनाया था मार्क जकरबर्ग ने तो क्या एक प्रॉब्लम थी जो वो सॉल्व करना चाहता था. इट वाज कनेक्टिंग फ्रेंड्स online, right? Though social networking websites were already there, but not at a very huge scale. So Facebook became the first one at that scale. And right now, the mood of the audience on Facebook is pretty much casual, you see. Because आप क्या करने जाते हो Facebook पे? आप अपने friends को देखने जाते हो कि क्या post कर रहे हैं, what are they up to, what they are doing, right? So it becomes very casual. Then Instagram. When Instagram was made, it was originally made to share pictures. And you see, those pictures still have a major role on Instagram even right now. Because what it does is that it boosts all the content which is in picture form as compared to any other content which is in any other form, right? And also the mood of the audience on Instagram as well is pretty much casual. Am I right, guys? Yes, no? Guys, I need you guys to be very active on chat because I can't do this by myself. I don't have habit of talking to a screen. I need real people. So at least you guys have to answer my questions in terms of yes and no's on your chat box. All right. Okay. I think there's a lot of new people coming in as well. Very good. So LinkedIn, coming to LinkedIn, what is the purpose of LinkedIn? What purpose LinkedIn is solving? It is solving sales, jobs, and business networking. We have talked about the whole slide at length in the morning, and I think a lot of people already know what I'm talking about. So sales, these are the three things that you can do on LinkedIn. You can do sales, you can find jobs, and you can network with like-minded people on LinkedIn professionally, right? Now, what is the mood of the audience on LinkedIn? Professional, right? When you go on LinkedIn, you are pretty much in a very professional mood. You want to talk, even if you want to chat with someone, you will do it very professionally because it is a professional platform. Then comes the YouTube. What is the purpose of YouTube? Video sharing, because it only has one purpose and it is only does that, share videos. We are also live on YouTube right now. So we are sharing our video content on YouTube as we are speaking. And what are the moods of audience when anyone goes to YouTube? It is divided in two actually. One is learning, because there are a lot of channels like ours where we teach you how to do stuff. Because there are actually category of people. One category who likes to read a lot, right? Who understand words better than anything else. And the majority of audience in India or population of India who become more visualized. What it means is that what they see, they learn very quickly when they see it rather than when they read it, right? So learning is one thing which you go on YouTube for. And then the second thing is entertainment. You go to YouTube to entertain yourself as well, right? Are we clear till here, guys? Are we clear for these four platforms? Yes, only 3 yeses, 4, 5. Very good. All right, good enough for me. Let's move ahead then. Then what does Google do? And how big is Google actually? Google is the biggest platform ever made on internet because half of the internet is actually connected through Google. Because whenever you go search something, you want to do something, you will go to Google and search, right? So what it does is, what purpose it solves is, it solves search and find results. This is the purpose of Google. This is the sole purpose of Google, right? And what is the mood? The mood is everything. All types of mood, all different types of mood can be tracked on Google. If you want to search like the entertaining part, you can do it on Google. If you want to search the professional part, you can do it on Google. If you want to learn something, you can still type in and find blogs on a particular topic. Then what is Twitter made for? What is the purpose of Twitter? The purpose of Twitter is to provide you with a live feed of current trends and what people are up to, what celebrities are up to, and what notifications of the bigger brands are up to, right? To get updates from influencers. Yes, Pooja, you're correct. So, and the mood of the audience is also, they are going on Twitter to find out what their celebrities, what their famous celebrities and popular celebrities are doing, and what they are following, and what they are saying, and how they're interacting with their followers actually. And also to keep up with the trends, that what hashtag is trending right now, and what is the current topic of the talk right now, right? So that's what Twitter mood and purpose is. Now coming to Quora solves one purpose, which is Q&A, question and answers, guys. You can ask questions, then you can answer questions, and then you can read and learn a lot of things from Quora as well. So what are the purposes of, what are the moods of audience when they go on Quora? Answering questions, reading, and learning. That's what you do on Quora, right? If any of these things connect to you and your business, how you operate your business, and how you can market your business, then you should target the individual platform as well. Now, right now, TikTok is becoming the talk of the town. What does TikTok do, guys? TikTok and Snapchat is kind of a similar. You can share short stories and short videos on both the platforms, but more of TikTok is on creative videos. And also, if you don't know, TikTok is not only a video sharing platform, it is also a video editing platform as well. There are a lot of extensive editing tools which are present on TikTok, which you will not find in any other application or social media platform right now, right? And Snapchat also does the same thing, but in a very less creative, or maybe not very hanky-panky way. It's in a very normal way how social media networks work. So what does people do on these platforms, both of these? On TikTok, people majorly go on for entertainment, and for Snapchat, people go on a casual mood, just like when you go on Facebook and Instagram, right, guys? Yes, no. Yes. One yes for me. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move ahead then. Now, coming to what we were talking when we left in the morning, how does social media work, right? And we majorly covered most part of it. And I told you there's one thing which you need to do. This is you as a publisher, and this is your audience on social media. And there's a gap which needs to be bridged or filled with content, because this is the only way that you can bridge that gap with audience, with content. Is there any other way for those people who have not attending the morning session? I'm asking you guys, do you think of any other way that this gap can be bridged between you and your audience without content? Yes, 1 plus 6 is yes. How do you fill a gap between you and your audience without content? The answer wasn't yes. Okay, so no, content के बिना आप ये gap bridge नहीं कर सकते, because content is what I am doing right now. Even if I'm talking to you guys, this is content that I'm sharing, right? If anything else, if you do marketing collaterals, if you do branding collaterals, these are contents. If you do advertisement, these are content, right? Content is not just text or just image or just video or just podcast or audio files. It's the collective form of it. All of them, all the media formats collectively make content, not individually, right, guys? And even even if you're not talking about online marketing, even if you're talking about offline or traditional ways of marketing, do you think you can do it without content? No, you can't. Because even if you do radio advertisement, or if you do a print advertisement, what you go for, what you print, or what your advertisement say, Isn't that content as well, right? So everything is content. Content is the key. If you want to market yourself, you can't market yourself without content, believe it or not, right? Now, when we know content is key, now let's come to our topic of this slide, which is how does social media works. So I've listed down these three columns, which has three different types of how I understand social media. This is affinity, post score, and channel score. These are the three different things that you need to, if you want to know how social media works, you need to understand these three different things. What is affinity, guys? For all those people who were there in the morning session, what is affinity? I think you guys can answer this better. Can you? Don't know. You were not there in the morning, right? Likeliness. All right. I think these are all new people answering, right? So let me answer you what is affinity. Affinity is the score which has been maintained by each and every social media platform, which has depicts your relationship with your followers, each and individual followers I'm talking about. For example, your one follower and you, what kind of affinity, what kind of relationship you guys share with each other. That's what affinity means. The more affinity you have with your followers, the more likeliness that they will see your post more often. If you do not believe me, if you have like ever noticed or realized that on Instagram, whenever you actually go on live, whenever you actually open your Instagram app, first post or the first few posts, one of them you will see is going to be someone who whom you actually whose content you like the most. Every time you see their content, you like them or you engage with them. That's why you see those posts at the very beginning, because your affinity with that publisher is so high that Instagram wants you guys to be connected forever, right? But this affinity score also depicts by with time as well. So for publishers, if you do not get enough engagement or enough interactions with your followers, your affinity score decreases as well with time. Same as with LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook as well. Your affinity score is everywhere, guys. Then what is a post score? Every post that you do also gets a scored by the platform for at least this Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. This is all my research and analysis, guys. By the way, none of these platforms does not claim anything like this, but these are my research and analysis. We have realized we have worked on these platforms from past so many years and realized all these things by ourselves, right? Facebook post score, what does that mean? Every post has a score. What if it's a video, if it's an image, if it's a text or a link as well. Everything has scored. And also on that post, what kind of engagement you're getting and what kind of results you're getting also matters, because that multiplies the score. For example, if you have more engagement of any video on Facebook, you will see that you will keep getting more views on that particular post, even when your like newer posts are dying earlier without engagement. Gurpreet, there are a lot of ways to maintain affinity score on Instagram and YouTube, which I will talk about later on. Let's move ahead. Then you have channel score. Do you guys understand what is channel score? Channel score, similarly, just like your post score and your affinity score, what it does is it depends, it calculates that आपका post किसको दिखाना है और कब दिखाना है. Similarly, for newer channels, your scores are lower than usual, and that means आपका post कम लोगों को दिखेगा. मैं आपको एक लाइव एग्जांपल देता हूँ. Instagram पे आपका एक नए अकाउंट से सेम हैशटैग, सेम इमेज कॉपी, सेम एड कॉपी के साथ आप एक पोस्ट डालिए और एक पुराने अपना इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट से डाली जो कि अच्छा फॉलोअर्स और प्लस अपना जिन पे अच्छे पोस्ट एंगेजमेंट्स हैं. Now you will notice that those particular accounts which has history on Instagram will get more, they have the high probability of getting more reach and engagement on hashtags and more popularity on hashtags as compared to newer accounts. Why is that? Because Your channel is new. It has the score is lower than usual and as compared to your competitors, right? So that was channel score. But you guys understand what all these platforms have one thing in common, and social media marketing revolves around that. And everything, your channel score, your post score, your affinity score is maintained and increased by that particular thing. Can you tell me what is that one thing? Anyone, guys? CTR? No, we're not talking about CTR as of now. Audience? No. Come on, guys, at least one person. Mayur, you are partially right. Reach, no, but engagements. What brings you more affinity? Engagement, right? Engagements are not only reactions. It is post shares, comments, reactions, link clicks, normal clicks, and your even DMs, direct messages, and both the parties, both the ways it works, guys. So engagement is the key. Everything is dependent on engagement. Engagement is something which brings more post scores. Engagement something which brings more affinity, and it is also dependent on the channel score as well. How we engage with person is something which we are going to talk about in our next slide. And don't forget about that. What is the title of this webinar? These are my 3 secrets, right? And I haven't shared any of the secrets yet. My first secret is our content recipe. This is what we call our secret, our content recipe. So guys, how we engage with people, how do we create more engagements? And first of all, let's answer, how do we create more engagement? Quality content. Yes, actually quality content. But let's calculate something right now. For example, I will assume you guys have at least interesting content. Yes. I will assume you guys have at least one brand to manage with you guys, right? Say yes or no. You are either running one company or representing one brand, right? Is there anyone who has more than one brand to represent right here? Okay. Shalini ji has, all right. Okay, so several of you has. Okay. Now, according to your marketing strategy, for example, you are running one brand, and when you're choosing platforms and when you're doing your buyers persona activity, you identify that there are 3 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, where your target audience is present. So that becomes 3 platforms, right, guys? Now, if you want to maintain your affinity and your engagement rates, you have to be consistent and you have to be you have to post in good frequency as well. And the ideal frequency is 1 post a day at least, right? Now, if you're doing 1 post a day for 3 platforms, it becomes 90 posts a month. Does it not? Right? Then if you do it yearly, it becomes 1080 per year. And I will assume you will at least run this business for next 5 years, right, guys? In 5 years, next 5 years, it becomes 5,400 per 5 years. And for people who have multiple businesses, you can multiply this by the number of businesses you run. And for agencies like us, we have to do 30 times of this every month. So even we're doing monthly, it becomes 2,700 posts for us to do it. And one more thing, if you go random post, what do you think? What kind of results you can get? You'll get the random results, right? If you do posting like chalo koi baat aaj ye kar diya, aaj wo kar diya, without any strategy, without any content strategy, then what will happen? You're going too wide and too broad, right? You haven't strategized your content. If you haven't strategized your content, then you can't expect results from organic marketing. Now, this secret is our content recipe, which is actually nothing else but the content strategy. So what we did was that we realized this problem very early in the industry. Since when we crossed about 10 clients, we realized that this is very difficult to do without a strategy. That is very difficult to do any kind of marketing on internet, because you need a strategy, you need a content strategy, and without content you can't do much about it, right? You can't do much of marketing online. So what we did was the whole team sat together and we categorized and we put together the type of posts that anyone can do, any brand can do on social media into 5 different categories. 5 categories, guys. Can you guess what these 5 categories are? And by the way, these are all, this content is not being copied from anywhere. This is our own brainstorming. This is our own sweat and experience, which we come up with like these 5 categories. So can you guess any one of these categories? No? All right. Technology, e-commerce. No, these are not categories. These are not content categories. These are industries. So the biggest and the broadest content category is educational. What does educational post do? And what are the examples of them? For example, I'll give you a few of them, not all of them. Tips. You can do a tip series. How to, rightly said. How to. Did you know? Similarly, so educational posts are not only your how to or did you know or tips, but any post which holds the educational value in it, even if it is not related to your brand and your product or service, it is also covered in this category. What it means is that something like if your target audience is young mothers and you're not selling anything like related to kids or to mothers, but your target audience is somehow young mothers, your product is very famous between them, you can literally do tape series on childhood parenting and all that ways. You need to understand that on social media, people are not coming to consume your content or to consume your product or service, but on a very different mindset. Your posts happen to be on their profiles, on their feeds, right? So we have to make it so rationalized decisions that what to make in your content, ताकि वो लोग जो who are seeing those posts in their feed has to resonate with them, right? So educational post which has all the educational values in it. What is the second type of post that you can do? And this is very common. A lot of people who already must know about it, but couldn't guess. Engagement post. Now, what does engagement post do? What does engagement post do? But what it does, yes, type could be quiz, but what do they do? They bring engagement, right? Increase engagement. And how does engagement helps you? How does engagement help you, guys? We talked about it at length over here. If you get engagements, your affinity score will increase, your post scores will increase, your channel scores will increase. So this is the most important category of all. Engagements. And what can you do in engagement? You can do quizzes. You can do like live videos. That also brings a lot of engagements. Then you do giveaways as well. Such posts which can bring more engagement to your channel should be categorized in these posts. So there's a lot of ways how you can create engagement. There are direct ways and there are indirect ways as well. You need to understand what works for you and how you do it, right? Now, first 2 categories of these posts are basically dedicated on more visibility that you can get out of it. Now, is that visibility enough for you guys? enabled to sell your product or service? Or is there something missing in this strategy? Abhishek, call to action, I'll give you why these posts do not have call to action. I'll answer this question in the end of this slide. But is these type of posts, educational engagement, which brings you visibility, are this enough to sell product or services? No, it is not, because this is just visibility. You haven't been credible enough in front of your audience. How will someone trust you? Why will someone trust you? And why will someone buy your product, right? How will you bring your credibility into the table? Does it make sense to you guys? They are wide open and can be applied for industries, but not to a specific company. I didn't get your question, Abhishek. Right. So most of you resonates with what I'm saying. So credibility, even if you're doing in specific company, if you're doing engagement and educational, you have to do credibility so that people can rely on you. People can rely on your product and service, and they go and they actually consider buying your product or services. The focus and the actually purpose of credibility post is not to sell, but to make people consider your product or services. And why consideration is also very important, we will talk about that later in the slides. Now, what kind of credibility post you can do? You can do awards, right? All the awards that you can get, testimonials, someone said, testimonials can be done. Very good. And any other post that can bring credibility to your channel can be categorized under these, right? Now, this fourth category. Now you have been visible, you have been credible, you have been making engagement, but what else can you do on social media? One part is missing. Since you are targeting not numbers, you are targeting real people. A lot of time we marketers forget that the people that we are targeting are not numbers on screen. They are not binary. They are not ones and zeros. They are actual human beings, and they are human. They are people. And what do they people want? What do real people want to see? Real people want to see real people, man. What do you engage with most? Do you engage with graphical post and vector post, or you engage with weird photographs, or you engage with people videos in which real people are there? Do you engage, Pooja, do you engage with videos which are only graphically made or animated videos, or do you like more videos in which real people are actually saying something? So real people always want to see real people. So events and activity, I'm not saying that you go and produce a video for your channel, but you can do events and activities at least. And what does events and activities cover? Not only the events and activities you are part of, but also it can cover office videos. You can make a lot of content just by sitting in office. You can have your team make content for you by sitting in office. You can do BTS, behind the scenes you can do really well. We do a lot of behind the scenes on our channels actually. Now, these four categories have earned you the right to do the fifth one, which is selling. And there are a lot of ways that you can do a selling post. One is that you do a promotion post of your product, promotional product, you can say, which is a more direct way of doing it. But any of these categories, any of these four categories, if done with a call to action, with a CTA, becomes a selling post. What does it mean? It means that all these four categories does not have any CTA. Do you think that people don't know how to reach you on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube or on LinkedIn? Don't you know that already know how to go on your page, how to click the call to action button on your page on Facebook, or the DM on Instagram, they already know how to do that. But when you put on and you push the CTA on each and every post, you actually look a lot desperate. When you do an educational post and niche aap likh dete ho, for more inquiries, call this number or go to this link or click this, you actually depletes the value of that post. So only selling posts have the CTAs, nothing else. No other post should have any kind of CTA in this. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Now guys, one thing, this is a, okay, this is a strategy. How you use this strategy is up to you. How you target your buyer's persona through this strategy is up to you. But there's one thing that you need to do. You need to do something called contextualization. How many of you know the meaning of contextualization? If you know the meaning of contextualization, say yes. More creative? No, it doesn't mean more creative. What it means is, according to your buyer's persona, according to the audience that you want to talk to through this particular post or advertisement or any kind of campaign, you contextualize your content according to them. Like what they want to see, like what they want to hear, what they want to watch, not what something you want to share. If you keep on doing something which you want to share, it won't be good. People will not be able to resonate. Yes, some people might be able to resonate with it, but not a lot of them. Because again, why do people come on social media? Do they come to buy your product or services? Well, in the case of women, going to for e-commerce on Instagram is something else. But apart from that, it does not become the plan, right? You have to contextualize your content in such a way that your target audience resonates with it. That's what makes this strategy workable. And this is what will give you more results with this strategy combined. So this was my secret number 1. Let's move ahead. And now from here onwards, we're going to be talking about paid ads. Now, guys, what are paid ads? How many of you have actually used paid ads at least once in your lifetime? Okay, so a lot of people have used paid ads, right? So, but what are paid ads? What are paid ads, guys? So what I'll do is, so usually I answer this question by a very in a very layman terms, because all those people who are using it know what are paid ads, but those people who haven't used paid ads yet, they need to understand what paid ads are. And for any marketing, what is the ABC of marketing? Well, actually it is not ABC, it is ACC, but this is awareness, consideration, and conversion. Whenever you're running any kind of campaign, understand this thing, guys. Understand this thing, that if your branding is not done properly, if your buyer's persona, if your target audience does not know about you, you can't start with this particular campaign from the very beginning. Can you? How many of you does not agree with me? Is there anyone who does not agree with me on this? If your brand is not popular enough and your target audience does not know about your product or service, you can't do conversion directly. You can't expect people to just go on your website and pay you the money and for your product or services. You have to start from here. This is the universal law of our marketing. You all the funnels, all the sales funnels start from awareness. Then you move to consideration. Then you move to conversion. But there is something which does not apply. There are a lot of products whose demand is so high that people do not really care of what brand they are buying. In that cases, conversions can happen from the very first moment. But if you want the greatest ROI, if you want to achieve more than 10x ROI, you have to go through the steps one by one. What paid ad does is you can literally control what content consumption your target audience is going to be going to be consumed in the next few steps. That can be defined in paid ads. And what I'll do is I'll try to make you guys understand what are paid ads. For example, this is the total audience available on FB to target. And your target, according to your bias persona, according to your target audience, this is your portion of target audience. This portion is yours. And you also happen to have a channel, organic channel, which has this much share of the target audience. So what is this? This is total audience available. Then what is this? This is your target audience. The number of people who you think that they are your target audience, or you think that they might be interested in buying your product or services. Now, this is your organic reach. Now, how do you grow your reach, this one, to this drastically, very quickly, and without wasting any time? You do this with the help of ads. Ads help you push your content to people to whom you want to reach. And this is not Facebook only. This is about all the advertisements, traditional, offline, online, all advertisements work this way only. What they do is they push your advertisement, they push your content to the target audience, to the right audience that you think are right. For example, if you do advertisement in a newspaper, for example, what are you targeting? You are targeting readers of that particular newspaper. And why are you targeting that? Because you think most of your target audience read this newspaper, right or wrong? If you think most of your target audience are entrepreneurs, so what do you target? You target entrepreneur as a designation. And where do you target it? You target it on LinkedIn, right? Now, when you target, you think that they are the people whom your product and service will sell. But what happens, guys? Let's be honest here. All those people who have used Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or lead generation campaigns, what does happen when you run the first campaign? Does it give you the results that you want? Lead costs are flying above your average budgets. Am I right or wrong? So if you have answered the question, if you know what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, that why do you get so high lead cost, and why are you not able to convert your leads into sales? It's because you're trying to convert people on the very first step. But what you should be doing, you should be first awareing them, then making them consider, and then asking them to pay. What am I doing right now? What step am I right now here? What do you guys think that what step I am with you guys right here? Am I on awareness? Am I on consideration, or am I on conversion? Abhishek, awareness was when you saw my ad or when you saw the registration link. You got aware about this program. Did you or did you not? Then what happened? You came to this webinar and now you're taking my advice and you are talking to me for these advertisements. If you like the content, then what will happen? At the end of the seminar, you will consider buying the paid program that I will present to you. And then I will convert you guys. Because you have to go through the funnel. Everyone will have to go through the funnel. You can't skip that, right? So this is how paid ads works, guys. This is how the actual work is done. So all those people who think that their lead generation campaigns didn't work because the lead cost was too high, now you have the answer. All those people who think that you didn't convert sales from your leads, you have the answer. Now, what I will answer is in the next few slides, how to get quality leads. And that is what my second secret is about. And I'm talking specifically about Facebook and Instagram lead generation. So my second secret is about Facebook, Instagram lead generation campaigns and how to generate quality leads. Because right now, what is hampering you to convert people? Two questions, you're not able to generate leads. Answered. You're not able to convert those sales into leads. Oh, sorry, convert those leads into sales. Answered. Now, if you do not get quality leads, again, you will be stuck in between. Right or wrong? Yes, main problem. So that's what I am going to solve today, Saurabh. Stay tuned. Now we're going to do our next slide, which is a very basic slide, which says what kind of platforms can generate leads. I'll finish this very quickly. Facebook and Instagram can generate leads. And always, whenever I say Facebook, Instagram, it means Facebook, Instagram ads, because both the platforms work collectively from the one business manager. Then you can also do lead generation on Google. You can do it on LinkedIn as well. You can do it on YouTube as well. Again, but how can you target people on Facebook and Instagram? What are the ways you target people on Instagram and Facebook? By their demographics. All those people who already know about this, you know, right? Interests and behavior. How do you target people on Google? You target people with their intentions. And what are their intentions? How do you identify intentions on Google? Keyword they type. Exactly. Search queries. How do you target people on LinkedIn? By their designations or their organization. So if you are targeting purchase managers of specific industry or specific organization, you can literally go on LinkedIn, try to advertise, try to lead generate, try to aware them of your content, then make them consider buying your service or product, and then hit the hammer down with the conversion campaigns. That's how you do it. You warm them up before you eat it, right? YouTube. How do you target people on YouTube? You target them with your interests. Yes, you said right, cookies, but we call it in-market because that cookie thing, Google already does it for you. In-market audience is one thing, then custom intent. So these are the different ways you can target these four platforms for lead generation. But there are few of ways which are very common in all the platforms. For example, location. And on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, you can also target people on pin codes as well. So even if you don't want to target the whole city, for example, there was a client of mine who was an astrologer who only wanted to target few particular pin codes, and that we could do for him on Facebook, Instagram, Google, and YouTube. And that's what we did. Then you can target people according to their age, their gender, their language that they speak. Gunpreet, you can hold your questions till the Q&A session, which we are going to do in the end of this webinar, right? So these are the platforms you can generate leads and you can target them, filter your audience through these ways. Now let's go ahead and talk about Facebook and Instagram lead generation campaign. First of all, you need a tool called Facebook Business Manager. To do what? To manage your assets and the people who are managing those assets and to generate effective reports. What does Facebook Business Manager do is it helps you manage all the assets. What are assets? Assets are ad accounts, your pixels, your custom data, your catalogs, all that, your Instagram account, your Facebook page, all that becomes your assets. And it is all managed by one tool called Facebook Business Manager. Now, Facebook Business Manager has a lot of other roles as well, but this webinar, I'm not going to talk at length about Facebook Business Manager. We're going to talk about the Ads Manager. Well, I could have shown you my real campaign and how to create campaigns on my screen as well, but that is something which we are doing in the paid program, and we right now giving you all the theoretical knowledge, and in the paid program we're giving you all the practical knowledge of how to do stuff. Right now, when you go to Ads Manager, how do you create an effective campaign? First of all, here the ACC of marketing also comes. What was the ACC of marketing, guys? What was it? Who remembers it? Come on, guys. Awareness. Yes. What is the C? First C. Consideration. And what is the third C? Conversion. Very good. Now, if you noticed, if you have run ads on Facebook or on Google, you must have noticed one thing. These ACC is common in both the platforms. Guys, by the way, which are the most effective and the biggest platforms in online market to advertise? Facebook and Google. Why are they biggest? Because they serve the biggest audience on internet. Now, why do biggest platforms follow this very basic ABC or an ACC of marketing? And if you have run ads earlier, you would know that why these campaigns, these objectives, that's what they integrated with. Because the first thing that you need to do whenever you create a campaign, you need to set the right objective on Facebook and Instagram. And on Ads Manager, these objectives are actually divided in these three categories to help you. The first category, you have set of campaigns which helps you aware people. Then the second category have consideration, which helps you make people consider your product or services. And the third campaign, which helps you convert people into sales. So even the bigger companies, bigger advertisement companies, social media companies, social media platforms and advertisement platforms have figured this out. Why haven't you been using it? That's my question. After you pick up the right objective, you need to go to ad set level. And this is, by the way, campaign level. This is ad set level. And then the third one is ads level. On first campaign level, the major decision that you need to take is on objectives. You choose the right objective for your campaign. And in this case, we're going to do leads campaign, lead generation, because we are talking about lead generation right now. And then in ad set level, what do you think you need to answer or you need to take decisions on? Very first is your target audience. Then your placements. I've already told you what are target audience. Your target audience is nothing else but your buyer's persona. Now, if you had done your buyer's persona activity in the very first step correctly, you will not face any difficulties here on this step whenever you are making a campaign, because you already know what your buyer's persona is. You already know what kind of people you want to target, what are their age, what are their profession, what are their demographics, what are the top 5 interests they have, what are the places that they spend their most time. Then placements. Placements are nothing but decisions on where exactly do you want to place your ads on Facebook or Instagram. For example, you can do it in stories as well. You can do it in feed as well. You can do it in the sidebar as well. You can do it in Messenger as well. You can do it in Explore feature of Instagram as well. And there are a bunch of other placements as well. But there's one placement that a lot of people get confused in. What is that one particular placement that a lot of people get confused in it. That is the network. So guys, Facebook and Google both have a network, a pool of different websites, smaller websites, which have literally rented out their portions, small portions of their websites to these platforms. So how it works is, how many of you guys are aware of what I'm talking about? That will depend how I make you guys understand this. One person is aware. Okay, only one person is aware. So guys, Facebook and Google both have a pool of websites. These are the websites. These dots, these small dots are the website. These are individual websites. It could be just like your own website. And what they have done is they have literally rented out their small spaces of their website sites and banners and small spaces of their website, and given the controls of that space, that small space, to either Facebook or Google. Now, what Facebook Google does in this is that they control this space, and whenever someone from Facebook or someone from Google that they can track comes on this website, they show their own ads. And how you can control, how you can target these network is by going in the placements, and this is not push marketing, by going in the placements and turning on the network tab. There are 4 tabs on Ads Manager. The first one says Facebook, the second one says Instagram, the third one says Messenger, and the fourth one says network. That's what you need to turn on, and you need to target all those placements if you want to target the network websites of Facebook. Now you understand what are network websites. Ad network क्या होता है, समझ आ गया? Yes, no guys? Yes. Okay. Then in this level, you need to understand, you need to answer this question as well. What is your daily budget? And that should be of no problem. You guys must know all your budgets. Now the third level of ads level, what do you decide in this level? You decide what creative you want to push to your target audience. What text you want to push to your target audience. What CTA do you want to show it to them? And since we are talking about lead generation campaign, what are the questions you want people to fill in the lead form? Do you guys know what a lead form is? How many of you know what a lead form is on Instagram and Facebook? Right. So a lead form is something which helps you attract leads. Leads are information of your target audience, like your phone numbers, their email addresses, their cities, their names, right? So this is not an external, this is not a landing page, Pooja. This is not an external. For Instagram and Facebook, there's a particular lead form which you can use, which is a part of this campaign only. So what happens is when someone in your target audience sees your ad and clicks on the CTA or clicks on the particular button, what will happen is there will be a pop-up, and that lead form will show up there. Now, the beauty of this lead form and the worst part of this lead form is that both are same, by the way, that this lead form will be pre-filled of your information that Facebook already has. For example, Facebook knows your name, Facebook have your number, Facebook have your email address, Facebook know what city you belong to. If I'm asking you all these questions that Facebook already knows, Facebook answers it for you, and you don't have to do any efforts. Why is it the beauty? Why is it a good thing? Because it helps advertisers to get leads more conveniently. But why is it the best part? Why is it the worst part? Because as a target audience, as a user, you have to put least efforts into filling up the lead form. Your least intentions will be there when you're filling up a lead form. Why? Because you only need to click OK. And many times, if you guys have like face this issue. Many times what happens is that you get a lead, you call them up and they say, I have not filled up a lead. What are you talking about? Who are you? I don't know you. A lot of time that happens. Why does that happen? Because Facebook, what it does is very smartly, they filled up the form for the users, and there's only one way to go back from the form to the feed, and that one way is a small cross on the top left corner of the screen that users have, and they many times miss it. And what they do is, the only way for them to come out of that lead form is to click submit button. So that's how you get the low quality leads. So if you want to avoid that, what will you do? If you want to avoid that, what will you do? Use landing page? That's just running away, Mayur. So that's called custom questions, Abhishek. And you're right. There are a lot of ways to make this go. There are a lot of ways to avoid this situation where you do not get leads by just clicking yes and submit. All right, let's move ahead. So this is how the ads are made. This is the lead form, the importance of lead form. And creatives are also of 3 different types. This is single image, or videos, or you can also use something called a carousel. I will show you the sample of these ads in the latest slides. So let's move ahead. Now, how do you choose the right audience for your slideshow? Okay, how do you choose the right audience for your lead generation campaign? The last one was carousel. So guys, how do you choose your target audience for lead generation? Very first thing that you need to do, you fill up the information that you have from your buyer's persona. Exactly. Now you understand how important is your buyer's persona. This is the most important activity that you will do with your marketing people, with your marketing agency. You will have to sit down with them and understand and brainstorm on your buyer's personas. You have to do that. Now on Facebook, you can target people on demographics, interests, and behaviors. But what are demographics? Demographics are basic questions like what's your age, what's your gender, what's your location, from till which level have you studied, these kind of answers. Interests. And also what we will do is we will categorize each and every thing that you're targeting into 2 levels. One is highly accurate, and the second is moderately accurate. Now, why is it important to categorize whatever you are targeting, whether you're targeting an interest or you're targeting a behavior, under these 2 categories, highly accurate and moderately accurate? Who will tell me why is it so important to actually categorize them into these 2 categories? No one? So no one knows about this. No. So how audience selection on Facebook, Instagram works is, you're actually what you're saying, Pooja, is actually the opposite of it. Interests, behaviors are more accurate than interests. So what we want to do here is, we want to target people on the basis of accurate data points that Facebook has. And there are a lot of ways to find out which data points are accurate, highly accurate, and which data points are moderately accurate. So all the data points, so first of all, do you guys understand what are data points? Yes, no, guys. Do you guys understand what is data points? No, no, no. Okay. So your name is one data point. Your age is one data point. Your all the demographics are each individually a data point. All the interest that you carry is one, like, individually data points. So Facebook, Instagram, and any other social media platform has thousands of data points on any individual user that they have. All this is called data points. Like what activity I did will be tracked. Whatever I scrolled, whatever I stopped at, whatever I read, whatever I engaged with will be tracked and put in a table for formatting, which will be done like for data points. How and why? Because these data points will actually define these interests, these behaviors, these demographics for advertisers to advertise you. That's how things work on Instagram and Facebook advertisement. And that's not only how it works on this platform, it's actually how it works on every social media platform. How do LinkedIn know what your designations are? Or how does LinkedIn know which organization you work on? That's the data point that they have on you. So Facebook, Instagram has the largest amount of any individual data points on any individual users that they have. They have thousands of them. So now there are two types of data points I can say. One is which is a highly accurate data point and which is moderately accurate, right? Now, how do I find out which one is a moderately accurate and which one is highly accurate? So guys, now there are two things. One, there are actually three types of data points, three types of category of data points. One is that you have answered yourself, like your name, your age, your location, your gender, your language, the school you went to, the studies that you have done, who's your wife, are you married or not, if you have kids or not. These are the data points which you have answered yourself. So do you guys think that this will be highly accurate or moderately accurate? So we'll call it H and we'll call it M. Highly, highly, highly. Well, this us, we actually want to believe our target audience, and we expect them not to lie in their data points such as their age, gender, but there are a lot of people who lie about these questions on their social media profile as well. But most of them, and for the assumption, for the sake of assumption, I want to believe that my target audience is truthful to themselves at least. So yes, I will treat this as highly accurate. Now, the third type of data points is something which Facebook have identified. Like Facebook has identified by your activities. For example, you engage with something related to digital marketing. So now you are interested, you have a new interest of digital marketing, and now you will start keep showing, keep seeing ads about digital marketing all the time. So that data point, is this data point highly accurate or moderately accurate? Moderate. Very good, Pooja. This is moderately accurate. Why? Because this does not show any intent. I could have just liked that post, or I could have just read it for the sake of something else, or just for the sake of knowledge. But doesn't mean I literally is interested in those. Now, the third type of data point is something which Facebook has identified by your behavior and with the help of technology. For example, your location. And how does Facebook knows your location? By your phone GPS, right? And then maybe your phone, which phone you use, handset you can say, or phone company or whatever. mobile brand that you use. How does Facebook know that? Or who's your best friend or close friend, you can say. How does Facebook knows that? This all is because of your behavior and the technology. Now, is this data point highly accurate or moderately accurate? So all those data points which are coming from the technology and behavior are actually highly accurate. Highly accurate. Why? Because your GPS location would not lie whether you were in this location recently or not, or whether you live in this location or not. And your phone company brand of your phone would not lie that you use this brand of phone or not. So this is something which is highly accurate. So you will treat this type of behavior and technology data point highly accurate. Now, what will happen? Why are we categorize these into highly, moderately? What will we do? Now, what we want to do is we want to target people with first moderately data points and then filter down with something related to highly data points, highly accurate data points. Do you get what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to make you guys understand is you need to take the bigger pool, this is moderate, and then filter them out with the target audience, which is highly accurate. What it does for you is it targets the right audience for you. It does not go vague because this could be moderately accurate as well. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say, guys? Yes, no? Yes. Okay. Just one yes, two yeses, three. Okay. Come on, guys. I need you guys to interact and be active on chat. I can't just do it and talk to the screen all the time. All right. So coming to how to create effective ads. How do you create effective ads, guys? All right. Saurabh is asking moderate ones. Okay. Saurabh, you can ask this question when we are in the Q&A session. Let's move ahead now. So how do you create effective ads, guys? How do you make sure? All right, so the actual answer of this question I've already answered in some previous slides, and the biggest answer for this is contextualization. Do you guys remember what the meaning of contextualization is? Yes. So do I need to repeat that? But there are something separate than this as well. There are more additions to it. So now how to create an effective ads depends on few other things as well, such as the audience that you are targeting. Are they highly intellectual? What is the level of studies that they have? How educated this person is? How creative this guy is? And your product. Is this a luxury product? Or this is for a common man? What is the price point of this product? All these things will have, all the answers of these questions will have impact on how your ad is made. Because this will actually make, this will help you, these questions will help you write the right ad copy for your target audience. And this thing, the product, will help you create the right creative for your target audience and for your advertisement. Do you guys know what ad copies are? Do you guys know what ad copies are? Yes. Okay, so you guys know. Okay, other people don't know. So Guys, ad copy is whenever you see an ad, there's a text form of something in text written on the above of the creative. Have you guys noticed that? Yes, no. That text is called ad copy. That's what we call ad copy. Now, how do you write ad copy and how does it differ to different audience? If your audience is highly intellectual, what kind of ad copy would you write? Would you write poorly grammarly, like poorly formatted sentences, or would you do something which has highly intellectual contextual content? Maybe some you can throw in few jargons as well in that, and that will make them very resonate. They will be able to resonate it with their intellectuality, right? If they are more of readers, then if they are more of study and they have highly educated, what kind of ad copy and what kind of writing would you write? Wouldn't it be a more of formal kind of writing? But it also depends what kind of product you have, right? If your product is for a common man and not a luxury product, then you would do a normal creative ad as compared to the luxury product and highly intellectual audience. Right or wrong? Yes, no, guys. Right. So now this is how you create effective ads. You create by contextualizing your content according to your audience. How you write your ad copy, how you choose your advertisement creatives, all depends on whether your creative is going to be successful or not, right? And also it depends on your USP as well. How well you actually आप अपने USP को how well you आप उसको दिखाते कैसे in your creative, right? So now I have few samples of creatives for you guys that we have already run, and these are all very successful campaigns that we have run. And I will there are four types, and there are three types of actually advertisement you can use on Facebook and Instagram. One is a single video, one is a single image, and one is a carousel ad. So we have options, we have example of all of them. This is a single video ad, and let's see. Ankur, there is no tool used to make this advertisement. We have it made custom. So we have an in-house team of our own media people, videographers, video editors, and all the equipments we have in-house. So we made this by ourselves. So next sample is of a carousel ad. So you see this is for a company for whom we run advertisement in travel space, travel industry. You and the first option of carousel, you have Australia, Bali, Maldives, New Zealand, and the company logo. And in the second option, we have only Australia. We are trying to generate leads of travel to Australia, right? This is how a carousel works. This is what a carousel means, different cards of content, right? Now, this next one is very effective. This particular advertisement is very old. We run this ad in 2018, somewhere in 2018 actually, and it was very successful back then. Why? First of all, this was for a client of ours who was in real estate agents, real estate industry, and at that time of a point, real estate was at its real low. Well, I don't know how it will become now due to coronavirus, but at that point, it was a real slow market in real estate. And this client approached us and we asked us to do campaigns, and we did pretty fairly. We did about 1,000 leads, generated 1,000 leads from this campaign, and this was the video we used in that campaign. And why it works was that we used reverse psychology, and you will see in this video when I started, and try to understand and read what it is written. So this had created a lot of buzz back then, and we created a lot of leads out of it. Now the next one is a very recent campaign that we did. This is for a live online session of photography like academy that we have clients all. So this is how a single image creative looks like. Now let's move ahead to our secret number 2. Are you guys ready for it? Now you have it on your screens. What is the secret number 2? And this is specifically for Facebook and Instagram marketing or lead generation campaigns. It says right people should fill the form. And why is it so important that right people should fill in the form only? Why is this a secret? First of all, let's take an example of a campaign right now. For example, this is your form or your advertisement. This particular campaign is shown to about 5 lakh. Oh, sorry. This particular campaign, your target audience is about 5 lakh people in it, right? This is your potential target audience. Then you run this ad for a week or so, and you, not for a week, let's say for a couple of days, and you reached about 10,000 people in this 2 days, and you had about 12,000 impressions of this ad, right? And it generated about 100 leads. I'm just giving you random figures just for the sake of example. Don't take this as sample figures. All right, guys, this is just for sake of example. So now what we have is we have 4 figures over here, which has potential audience. This is your total audience, 5 lakh. Your reach, current reach is 10,000. This is the total number of impressions. And this is the total number of results that you have created for yourself, 100 leads, right? And I have not filled in the price per lead because it is not at all important right now. Because what I'm trying to make you understand is, now from these 2 days, now from ahead of it, how this campaign will run is, that will depend on these 100 leads. Why? Why will this campaign, jahan pe abhi you have 4,90,000 people to reach in your audience, and this will only depend on this 100 people who have filled up your form. Why? Because there's something which Facebook and even Google has, and it is called AI. And what does AI means? What does AI means, guys? Artificial intelligence. Yes, AI means artificial intelligence. And in this regards, what does AI means over here? AI means here that your campaign optimization is more or less fully automated. But on what? How will Facebook optimize your campaign right now for leads? It will optimize from the conversions that already they have. If they have 100 conversions on your campaign, Now, what will Facebook do is they will compare the data points on these 100 people. They will compare the data points on all these 100 people and all the data points which are common in these 100 people. Now they will filter out those data points in the rest of 490,000 people. Are you getting it? Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Now, you know why is it important that right people should fill in the form. And it does not only go for Facebook, it also goes with Google. Because when you track conversions on Google and now you want to run an ROAS campaign, return on advertisement spend campaign, your AI, the Google AI will try to run it in a form that you have your best ROI from it. Okay. Now is it clear, Abhishek? Or shall I repeat? Sure. So that is why it is so important that right people should fill in the form. Right? So let's move ahead to towards our third and last secret. So guys, now we are very close to the third secret, and now it is becoming more complex. The topics are more complex ahead. So please be more attentive. Now, we're talking about how to break perception. But first, what is a perception? And why are we talking about perception? You guys came here for digital marketing webinar, right? Now I'm talking about psychology here. Why? What are perceptions? For example, now in India, there's about 1.3 billion people. And these 1.3 billion people, if you ask them their way of thinking or their opinion about one thing, there will be millions of different sets of those mindsets, of those perception of how they perceive. These millions ways are perception, right? How they think about, how the whole population of our country think about one thing, the number of ways that they think about product A is perception. This is their million perceptions, right? Or wrong? Yes or no, guys? No? Somebody said no? Why no? No. So what I mean is, I didn't say good or bad. I said their opinion. One person about a product, they can have different opinions, right? They can have millions. When you're talking about 1.3 billion people, there could be millions of perceptions that they could have. That's not just one or two. There could be many, many more, right? Now, but why are we talking about perception here? It's not the question that how many perceptions would they have. The question is, what perception would they have, right? And that is not the part of the example. And why are we talking about perception here? Guys, whenever you are targeting people, so there are about two kinds of product that you can sell online or in any market or in any industry. One is which has a demand and which is basically easier to sell, because what you need to do is you need to fulfill someone's demand, right? When you manufacture something, you manufacture garments, what do? You are trying to fulfill someone's demand in the market. Yes, Mayur, that's what I'm trying to make all of you understand. What you do with perception is, why do you want to break perception is for the products that there is no demand in the market, or for the products whom does not have the right perception. For example, I'll give you one of my clients' product. Have you guys heard of Shilajit? Yes, no. Have How many of you have heard of Shilajit? Now there is a perception in Indian market that Shilajit is only used to get you better in bed. Yes or no? Is this a perception in India or not? People are saying yes, right? But now, if I tell you that there are different ways that you can use this product, and this is kind of a taboo product in Indian market as well. Even Google bans you sometimes if you do not play it smartly in your text. Then how do you market this? You can't just sell it on the basis of that. That will create a brand which is not even a brand. You can you can actually tell someone about that brand, can you? Now, a client of ours approached us for this. So I think I have been honored for this project, and this is a very good project for us and a tricky one for our creative minds as well. But when you are targeting Shilajit, when you want people to sell, when you want to sell Shilajit to people, and one specification from the client that you will not use this taboo which is already there, which is that Shilajit will make you good in bed. You will not use that point. So none of our creatives, none of our ads would never ever say that Shilajit will make you that. Then how do you do that? So there is a way to break perception. But what does comes in here? What is the ACC of marketing? Now, what we did was first we aware people about the antioxidant value of it. Then we aware people about the immunity booster value of it. And also, all of you know that this Shilajit is perceived as it will make you good in bed. But why is that perceived? Because this is the natural way of testosterone booster as well. So now our job was very simple. We had these three major points. Now we had to identify three buyers persona around these three values. Who needs the antioxidants, and who is the best person that who will actually be interested in talking about, in reading about these antioxidant values? Maybe people who are more interested in yoga and wellness, right? Then who are the people who's going to use maximum immunity boosters? Maybe those who are living or trying to live a healthy lifestyle, right? Now, who would need the testosterone that this product has? All the people who are gym freaks, right or wrong? Now, with this particular audience, we float our content accordingly, and we float our content around this. And what we are making them do is we are asking them to do little steps. We have content, we float content around videos, we have people in yoga mats, we have people in gyms talking about Shilajit, and influencers hired, and blogs written around it, and created enough buzz that for after a month, we start putting the hammer down with the conversion campaign. And what it does is that now this client is able to achieve per sale 180 rupees, which is on an average order value of 1000 rupees. This is more than 5x ROI, guys. So that's what it did. And that's how you break perception. You can't just break perception by saying it. You have to float first. You have to do it in three ways, three steps: aware, educate, then make them consider, then convert them. Right? Are you guys clear how to break perception? Shall we move ahead? Or is it getting too tricky for you? Yes, yes. Okay. So now, how do you build your sales funnel? I think you guys will be able to answer this by yourself. What is a sales funnel? What is a lead funnel, by the way? What does a lead funnel means? And how does it look like? How does a funnel look like? Does it look like this or not? Well, broad ho gaya. But anyways, does a funnel look like this? And there's always three part of the funnel. What is the ACC again? See, this is where it is used. This is where it is used, guys. This is used everywhere. Now, what will happen to a lead funnel if you want to throw people on the top of the funnel and want them to come out as your customers? What will happen? You will have to let them go from three steps. The very first step is let them consume content without CTA. Let them consume it. Don't show that you want anything in return from them. Then the next step, how do you make sure, how do you identify that this person is now in the consideration level? How is this person in a second step? How will you identify that? Now, the way you identify is, for example, you posted a video on Facebook or on YouTube or anything, anywhere. Now, in any platform, you are able to target people and identify people and filter people on the basis of who have seen this video for more than 50%, who have seen this video for 100%, who have seen this video for less than 25%. Then you can make sure all those people who have seen the video or read the blog or spent 2 minutes, 3 minutes on a page into consideration level. And what do you need to do in consideration? You need to let them consume content this time with a CTA. But what kind of CTA are you going to use? Are you going to use buy now, buy now, buy now? Or you're going to use have this free ebook, for example, or have this free anything that you can give value to, and in return take their information like email and then send them emails. And all those people who fulfill that criteria comes in the third level. And what do you do in this level? You do bang, bang, and bang. You put the hammer down and you try to convert this particular set of audience into paid customers. And you keep doing that until and unless they are not converted into customers. That's how you build a lead funnel, a sales funnel. Now, what are the tools that are required or that can you use to build this kind of a funnel? You can use FB, Facebook, you can use Instagram, you can use Google, you can use YouTube, you can use your emails and email clients like MailChimp. You can use SMSs. There are there are illegal way of doing an SMS and there is a legal way of doing an SMS. You can buy those legal ways and do it. Then you have FB network that you can use to build this sales funnel. Then you have Google network that you can use to build this sales funnel. And that's how you do it. You connect all these tools to talk to each other with the help of analytics, with the help of Google Tag Manager, with the help of Facebook Pixel Manager, and build these steps into funnel and have your audience filter down from the top of the funnel to the bottom and come out as customers. Are you guys okay and clear about how to build your lead funnel? Yes or no? Yes. Just one yes? Do we have any questions around this? So tools are very like they are basic tools. Your Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, emails, SMS, FB network, and Google network. They are all available. There's nothing, any kind of tool that you need to use. You can connect all these platforms by yourself. There is no rocket science. Now it brings me to my last secret. But now you will say, how is this a secret? This is remarketing. This is like everyone who does marketing knows about remarketing already. How am I calling it my secret? Are you thinking about that or not? I hope not, because trust me, I have something in this as well. So now, normally, what advertisers and marketers do, they generate traffic through your organic and paid manner, right? And they bring that traffic to a web page or any trackable element, for example, YouTube or anything. Yes, Tejas, this can be available post session. And then what do they do? Once you land your traffic onto a web page, or maybe this is a landing page you are using to build your lead generation campaigns, what will happen? There will be two scenarios. One, that people will convert as leads, right? And two, that people will not convert as leads. Right or wrong? This is scenario A and this is scenario B. Right or wrong, guys? Traffic coming to your web page, and then two possible scenarios. You either convert that traffic into leads or they does not get converted into leads, right? Now, which audience A or audience B needs to be retargeted or remarket? B. Okay, someone said B. What all of you guys understand about this? I need all of your opinion on this. Come to the chat bar, like message A or B. If you think those people who have already converted need to be remarketed, or those people who have not been converted needs to be remarketed. Someone said both. Someone said B. All right, B is winning right now. 3 people have said B. What is your opinion? B. Again B. Come on, guys. This is only 5 votes. All right, B. So I think we have a clear winner here, that most of people are opting for B. That all those who have not been converted has to be remarketed so that you can convert them back, right? And which is not at all bad. But what I say is, and what also Mr. Mitesh says, that both of them needs to be remarketed. Why? Because this is just a lead. Yes, Mitesh, this is not a sale yet. You still need to warm this audience and able to convert them into sales. And how do you warm them up? With your funnel, with your content, right? For example, now how many of you generate leads, and how many of out of those who generate leads, how many of your generated leads tell you that, okay, I will talk to you later, or okay, I will get back to you, or just email me the quotation, I will talk to my people. How many of you get this kind of an answer on your first call of your lead? How many of you get this answer? Say me in the chat box. People who have faced this scenario when you picked up the phone, called your lead and said, okay, just email me the quote and I will get back to you. Why does this happen? Now, remember, I told you in the beginning, I will answer the question, how do you convert quality leads into sales as well? So this is how you do that. You literally warm this audience whom you have already converted into leads, so that when you call them up, they already are expecting your call desperately. I have been in that position many times. Then when I called, people have actually have my number, or when they see my name on Truecaller, they pick up the phone and tell them, greet me by name. Hi Sarthak, I've been waiting for your call. And also understand a window when you generate a lead and when you call them up, the window between that period should not be more than 24 to 48 hours, because after that, that impact, your remarketing cost will go higher, the impact will go lower, and they start forgetting and ignoring your ads. So that is the secret, guys. Do not remarket only B audience, but also A audience with what type of content? Contextualized content. Now, the content that you will present to A audience will be very different than the content that you will show to B audience, because B is yet to fill the lead form and A has already filled the lead form. You are visible to them. They have considered your product. Now, what you need to do is you need to build your credibility in front of them so that they want to buy your product or service, right? That is the third secret of how you triple your leads. Now, what I have in front is what I have next is some testimonials of my clients and what services I've given them. So I'll run it one by one. So this is Mr. Suresh Manshamani. He's been my coach and mentor for many years as well. He has used a lot of my services, and he's also present here in this webinar as well. Let's say what he has to say about us, our services as an agency, and about me.
Hello friends, my name is Suresh Mancharamani. I am co-founder of Tajriba Business Network, two-time TEDx speaker, certified Gallup Strength and Business Coach, and a Turbo Sales Growth Specialist. This testimonial is for my dear young friend and Tajriba member, Sarthak Arora. He's one of the best I have met in recent times for the digital media and all the lead generation, YouTube. I've used a couple of digital media agencies in the past, but Sarthak, I met him 3 years ago, and I tell you, he's the best. In less 6 months, he helped me to get around 11,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he handles all the Tajurba lead generations, all the seminars and workshops lead generation. I highly recommend Sarthak and team at Rocket Tech. If you want ROI from your best ROI from your Facebook leads or LinkedIn leads or YouTube leads or any other digital media one, go for it, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh. Thank you so much for the lovely testimonial. And next we have as business head of Indian Academy of Photography. This is Mr. Kashu Bhalla. Let's say what he has to say about us.
Hi, I'm Kashu Bhalla, business head for Indian Academy of Photography. I want to give a huge shout out to Sarthak Arora and the entire Rocket Tech team for keeping us busy with all the lead generation campaigns and getting it not just leads, but quality leads, which convert out. Their strategies have helped us develop not only in developing our brand, but also creating a brand value that we had in mind while running all these marketing campaigns. A big thank you from the entire team of Indian Academy of Photography.
Thank you, Mr. Kashu Bhalla. Now, what we have is next is an international brand for whom we handle pan-India marketing. And this is a German brand of cameras. This guy is an assistant manager in this company.
I'm with this company, working as assistant manager, sales and tech support for like a store in India. In this world, it's very important to have a sales business, develop online business. And for that, you need a digital marketing business. It's very important for any business to be present vertically for all their customers. So choosing a digital marketing agency is really important. At the stage shows Rocket Tech after an extensive evaluation of a number of agencies, similar agencies in the market. And in my association of about 2 years, I can say, it's showing.
Audio is very low on this, so
I'm not being disappointed without choice.
you'll have to use headphones.
And the team of Rocket Tech is highly professional. They are knowledgeable, they are responsive, and coupled, they are very supportive
All right. So this is, if you don't have headphones, you can't hear this because the audio is very, very low when he recorded this. Next, we have founder of Glow Aesthetic Clinic, Dr. Prabha Singh. Let's see.
Hi friends, myself Dr. Prabha Singh. I'm aesthetic physician and laser expert, owner of Dr. Prabha's Glow Aesthetic Clinic. मेरी मुलाकात हुई सार्थक से जो Rocketech company run करते हैं, and he started giving me the right feedback and the right backup of technology कि आपका वीडियो में क्या इंफॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए और उस इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ में डिस्टर्बिंग फैक्टर्स जो होते हैं, कई बार डिस्ट्रैक्शंस होते हैं, बैकग्राउंड सही नहीं होता है, तो इन सब को इतना प्रोफेशनली उन्होंने मेरे लिए कंपाइल किया कि अब मैं अपनी वही बात को बहुत प्रभावी ढंग से कह पा रही हूँ. So I'm very thankful to the entire team for the best camera, best content, and giving me the confidence to speak properly.
And move to Q&A. Now, let's open up questions, guys. What kind of questions do you have for me? You have Q&As here. All right, Amit Gupta asked, can we get recording for this session? All those people who have paid will only get the recording for these sessions. Now we have, is this lead funnel of awareness to show content without CTA applicable to low budget ads too? What is the nominal budget, ad budget? So again, to run any kind of lead funnel, this is a question asked by Mr. Abhishek Jain, and I'll repeat the question for all of your references. Is the lead funnel of awareness to show content without CTA applicable to low budgets ads too? Now, Abhishek, are you here, Abhishek, or you have left already? Abhishek, are you here? Yes, he is here. Abhishek, what we need to understand, the awareness campaigns are the cheapest type of campaigns available on Facebook, Instagram. So they are, and even on YouTube as well. So you can, if you know what is cost per 1,000 impressions, so how Facebook charges you is, they always charges you on the basis of 1,000 impressions that they have served for you, Abhishek. So the cheapest way of getting the more impressions out of that is running awareness campaigns, because what it does is it tries to maximize your reach into the minimum amount of money spent. So yes, this is available and this is possible on low budget too. But again, what is low budget for you? You will have to define that. Maybe when we, if you have paid it or if you have enrolled into program, we can discuss that into one-to-one sessions as well. And what is the nominal ad budget? I cannot answer that question right now because it depends on industry to industry, what kind of target audience you are actually targeting and what kind of ad you are running. What is that you are showing? Okay, so Pooja, how hashtags are used is the only way to get on Instagram organic growth is through hashtags. So how Instagram works is that you will get the organic growth only and only through hashtags and paid growth through advertisement. So if you want to grow your account on Instagram, you have to use the right hashtag strategy. And the hashtag strategies is only part of the paid funnel that we have. Paid course, actually. Yeah. Any other questions that we have? Any other questions that we have? Guys, if you do not have any question, I'll bring this to an end. So if you have a couple of minutes left, if you have any questions, say it now. Okay, so thank you so much for attending. Now I have something, a bonus for all of you. I have, okay, something Pooja is asking, what is the exact niche means in digital marketing? So niche is something like a category in digital marketing. Niche is like what category you are, what industry you are. That's what, it's a slang. It's nothing but a slang, Pooja. Yeah, niche. Now, people, hang on. There's one bonus left out for all of you. What I'm doing is I'm sharing a link in the chat, And what this link is, it's a link to a LinkedIn group. Now I'm making a community on LinkedIn where I call them digital astronauts, people like you, people like me, who want to learn and exercise and do our skills on digital media, will come along and share their doubts, share their campaigns, and share their performance and activities. So guys, please log into this link on LinkedIn groups and join this group. This is a very fresh group which I just made it this morning, and people are not there right now, but I'll be adding more people, and after a particular point I will close the membership to this group, and I will only the paid members will join this group. So right now it is open for all of you. Go ahead and join this group and we'll start the activities on there. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for attending this session. If I have made any value to you guys from this session, please give me a heads up. Please give me a small written testimonials or a video recorded testimonial, anything that you're comfortable with. You have my number. If you have my email address. Thank you for attending. Bye-bye. Good night. Pooja, only this recording is available to only those people who have joined the triple your leads program. Okay, we have another question from Pooja. The recording of this seminar is only available for people who have joined the Triple Your Leads paid program. All those people who have joined will get the recording of this seminar, and all those who haven't will not get the recording.